My name is Stephen Rafferty, and you're watching These Are Questions. This is the interview show where I ask people questions about things, life, and such not. And today's guest is a talented singer, songwriter, and musician. Please welcome Erica Gard.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. How you doing, Erica?
Good, doing pretty good.
I'm glad. Welcome to These Are Questions. This is going to be a fun, exciting episode of These Are Questions. But before we get into the episode itself, I need to explain the rules of These Are Questions. Erica, I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are going to be based around your career, aspirations, along with a mixture of questions that are borderline idiotic and, well, randomly stupid. Do you accept those terms?
Well, I'm here. I accept.
All right, great. Erica, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Internet, are you ready? Sound effects.
I love this.
I told you it's going to be a fun, exciting episode. It's going to get more and more exciting as we go. With that, let's begin. So, Erica, tell me a little bit about your journey and how you got into the music industry and creating your own specialty style of music.
Yeah, so I've been singing and, singing since I was a kid and then playing guitar since I was 15. I'm 26 now. And I also picked up piano when I was a teenager as well, but I mostly play guitar. I started songwriting in high school. I went to the University of Miami and studied music therapy. So I was in the Frost School of Music where I learned, more about music theory. I was in choir, different ensembles, ear training classes. So it really strengthened my musicianship going to that school. Even though I was learning, how to use music to help others through music therapy. I love it so much. It's a passion of mine and something that I would use for the rest of my life.
Very cool. And I commend you using with music therapy because that's an underrated art in itself. Music is very soothing. It's very relaxing. It can trigger a lot of different emotions depending on the musician in play and what they're trying to convey with their songwriting, with their music. So that's definitely a great, true skill in itself. And I know that's definitely helping you in your songwriting and helping you in your musical style.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And while researching you and researching your works, I noticed that you've done plenty of song covers as you're going around performing and touring in all these different areas, and not just the South Florida market, but in other locations. Which was one of your personal favorite covers to do? And which is one cover that you haven't done, but it's one cover you want to do in the future?
I've done different covers. I think one that I really love that I've been doing recently is Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. So most of my music that I cover is more popular music, top 40, things like that. We'll do some songs from, because I'm with my band usually when I'm doing some of those songs, and I'll do things that are, from the 70s, the 80s, which I also enjoy too, mostly the hits, a cover that I've wanted to do. We were talking about Christina Aguilera with my band. So maybe one of her songs, she's got a lot. So something like her, or I would love to do more Lady Gaga, maybe one of those covers for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I could see you doing all those different types of covers right there. That'd be pretty cool. I think you have some potential there, some ideas that you could do with that. And I know you're a very busy woman. You're a very talented woman, and you do a lot of different things within your songwriting and within your music. I wanted to ask you, when's the last time you had a day off?
Sunday. I guess Sunday was my day off, like for the first time in a while. But I also have a full-time job, regular job. I work in hospice. Normally my week is filled with working regular hours at my 9 to 5 and then gigging after. And I gig about at least 4 days out of the week. Sometimes it's been 6, Sometimes it's been 7. So it's been a lot. It's a balancing act for sure. I'm also married, so I have a husband, have a dog. I'm young. I, have the energy. I want to enjoy my life. Because I work in hospice, because I worked with different populations. I worked with children in the hospital. I've seen people pass away in front of me. So I really try to just enjoy myself, enjoy life, because truly life is short. That's a saying that I totally adhere to, and understand that it's good to just do what you want, enjoy yourself, because life is fun and to enjoy it.
Very wise words there. And I commend you for working in a field that is quite difficult and challenging to work into. I can absolutely respect that. And it puts things into perspective of, just seeing individuals going through kind of the latter stages of life and seeing what they are experiencing there. And it puts things in perspective where it's like, yeah, like you said, life is very short and you can only do so much with your life. So during the time that you have life, you could do pretty much whatever you want, but hopefully you have the option to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. So there's another layer to it. And I don't want to say it necessarily helps with music, but I think going back to the beginning, how soothing, relaxing music can be, that can help, that definitely help with individuals that are going through those stages of life. Listening to someone's favorite band or favorite song can really put things in a different perspective.
It's something that we all share as humans. So it's a beautiful thing to do. And I think a lot of people put pressure on themselves to be perfect. I know I do it to my own self a lot. And but music, in my mind, it's something that you might make mistakes. Your imperfections might be somebody else's perfections and vice versa. So, truly you just have to do it with a passion and the soul that you can, and enjoy yourself, enjoy it as much as you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better right there.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. So, Erica, I'm going to show you 2 pictures. Okay.
Okay.
And I want you to just tell me which picture you like better. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me get it for you. Let me get it through my secret folder here. Okay.
Nice.
Try to be. So here's the first picture. It's a glass of orange juice.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And this is a professional wrestler named Orange Cassidy.
Okay. I'll say the second picture, but that's just because I don't like orange juice and I like this guy's outfit.
Okay.
All the denim. I think it's denim that he's wearing. Jean. Yeah. So I don't know any wrestlers, never watched it, but hey, I like the picture.
I think he'll definitely like that.
And he looks good, but don't tell my husband.
No. Erica's husband, don't listen to that part. Okay. I'm not trying to cause anything. He's not trying to cause anything.
I know.
I'm just showing pictures of oranges. That's all I'm doing. That
was funny. I like that. That's clever.
Thank you. This is what we do on These Are Questions. We just make things clever sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So let me ask you, Erica, in one word, what's the best way to describe the songwriting process?
In one word, I'm gonna go with melody. And that's just because that's kind of what I always gravitate towards, is a melody. So I usually will sing a little ditty in my head or something like that. And then I will play chords, mess around with the guitar. And then the lyrics are kind of the last thing for me. I know a lot of people sometimes have a whole page or notebook full of lyrics and then will write to those lyrics. But usually, because I'm just someone who's very focused on hearing things, ear training. I think mostly because I am a singer, so I focus a lot on that part of a song. So that's kind of what I use. So melody would really be the word that I would say for my songwriting.
Good choice. Good choice. That's actually that makes a lot of sense. Especially when you're playing around and just playing with ideas and you're just trying to make something.
Yeah,
Melody is one of the most important parts of a song.
it is.
Last time I checked, I'm not a musician by any stretch of the imagination, but last time I checked, that's important. And a good melody can make or break a song right there.
Yep, it's
Mhm.
true. It's true.
So let me ask you, Erica, do you like games?
I do. I really do.
Okay. Okay. Follow up. Do you like cheese?
I love cheese. Yes, I actually do. All
Okay.
kinds.
Oh, perfect. Well, I have the cheese game for you. It's called No Cheese, No Coin, the card game for people who like cheese and money.
I've never heard of this game.
This is my game. I made this. I created this game.
Oh, no way. That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
This is the quick playing, fast timing card game designed for smaller groups of players and avid cheese and money enthusiasts. The objective is real simple. All you have to do is collect as many coin cards in the deck at one time. The challenge, though, is drawing all the different cheese effect cards that can help or hurt your chances. Okay?
Okay.
So think of like reverse Uno meets a game called Exploding Kittens meets Russian roulette.
Okay. I know Uno and the exploding kittens.
Okay, so you'll know this game. You'll like this game. We're not going to play the actual game because we need more than 2 players, but what we're going to do is that we're going to do a game within the game. What I've been doing on These Are Questions Season 4 is that I've been asking guests to pick a card from this deck, and we're going to determine your cheese type.
Okay.
Okay, so think of like a horoscope reading or a tarot card reading. We're going to decide what type of cheese are you.
Now I'm gonna buy this cheese all the time.
Yes, you should. You should buy the cheese that you pick. You should pick up a copy of No Cheese, No Coin. Shameless plug right there.
There you go.
There you go. Gotta pay the bills somehow.
Hey, you do. I know.
But we're gonna see. We're gonna determine what kind of cheese you are. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. Here we go. You can use this hand to tell me what cheese you want.
Okay. Let me, I guess yeah, that's fine.
Right here.
Yep, that one.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. The cheese that you've selected is Swiss Vision.
No way. I love Swiss cheese. That's like the one I always use on my turkey sandwiches. Literally. I eat like Swiss cheese, turkey sandwich, lettuce. That's my thing. So that's crazy.
That's the go-to right there. In the game, it's a good card because it allows you to see the top 5 cards in the deck, so you can see what next 5 cards are coming to you. So you may be getting some coins, you may be getting some specialty cheeses that can help you or that can hurt other players. So strategy right there.
That's cool. Oh my gosh, what a neat game. I can't believe you created that. That is really cool. Wow, look at you.
That's me, jack of all trades, master of none, oftentimes better than the master of one.
That's really cool though. I've never like seen people create their own games. So that's awesome. And that you actually have it made up and everything. So that's really cool.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for playing this game within the game. I hope you learned a lot about your cheese.
I did.
So moving along from games and cheeses and games, my next question I want to ask you, Erica, is could a firefighter use a tuba to stop a fire?
Could a firefighter use a tuba? I mean, they could. I don't know if it'd be that effective, but I guess you could do anything really. It might not completely stop it, or it might take a while. So maybe. I don't know if anyone has done that.
Well, if anyone is listening or watching that is a firefighter and has ever used a tuba to stop a fire, please let me know in the comment section.
They're probably like, what are they talking about? We only use fire hoses.
There's probably one person in the world that's like, hey, I didn't have a hose today. but I found some running water and I found the tuba. I might as well use that to stop a fire. So
You have to be resourceful because you never know what's going to happen, like we experience a pandemic, so we have to be resourceful and figure it out along the way. We never know what's going to flip upside down.
You never know. You never know. Things can
Yeah.
happen. You got to be creative. That's the creative side. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of creativity, it kind of leads to my next question. And that question I want to ask you is, Erica, what would be the dream collaboration? So like dream artist, dream band, dream musician that you want to do work with in the future?
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like everyone who knows me knows I would love to collaborate with Beyonce because she is my favorite artist in the whole world. She's, a brilliant performer, and that's something that I've been trying to work more on as I've been performing. Is stage presence is really important to me. You can be a great musician, but when you're a musician and a performer, they're two different things. And so I think having both of those and being very good at them just makes you kind of the ultimate artist, and she does that very well, as well as Lady Gaga. They both do that very well, where the musicianship skills are very high, but the overall performance stage presence is also very high. So either one of them would be an amazing collaboration that I would love and enjoy if I could do that in my lifetime.
You never know. You never know. You may have a power trio right there. Maybe you can get both of them to be with you,
I know, right? I mean, they did do a song together. They did Telephone back in, I think it was 2009, I want to say.
I believe so.
Yeah, it was something like that. And so I would love to see them do something again, but I don't know if that's in the cards. I'm not sure, but that would be great.
It will be in the cards because we're manifesting it right now. So like
there you go.
somewhere in this planet universe, this may possibly happen. I don't know, but you never know.
You don't know.
You don't know. You could just keep trying and things can happen. So Beyonce, Lady Gaga, you're not that you two are not that busy. You got some free time. Make another collab.
Maybe another one. Hey, I'm just chilling here in South Florida.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? We got nice weather, so that's like something that's an incentive. So
there you go. I know, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's been great interviewing you on These Are Questions so far, Erica. It's been wonderful. And I wanted to ask you, in your experience doing performances and singing and being in front of a live audience, what's the one thing you've learned from doing all these various performances that new performers need to know?
So I guess the one thing I've learned is every place is a different setting. So every place that you perform, there's a different type of crowd, there's different people, there's a different ambiance. And but the one thing that I always try to do is be engaging, because no matter what, it might be a more subdued setting. It could be more rock and roll where you're dancing and singing, or you're sitting down. It depends on the venue, but it's always good to be engaging because people are creatures that want to interact. And when you're providing, entertainment, they want to feel like they're a part of the entertainment. They want to be there and feel the song and feel the music. So something that I always do is I always look at the audience. I used to, before, close my eyes. I used to do that all the time because I was, one, nervous, and then two, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get into the song. But I researched a lot of different performers, saw what they did, some of the bigger artists, and said, the important thing is they're looking at everyone. They're making sure, even if they're not staring you in the eyes, they're looking in your vicinity and you feel like they're talking to you, they're singing to you, the music is coming to you. And that's really important being an artist, whether you're singing your own music or you're singing covers. So that's something that I do all the time, is I try to be very engaging. I'll sometimes, especially if it's like an upbeat gig, I'll be like, hey, woo, just make it fun, and make them feel like this is a good time. This is a musical moment. We're enjoying ourselves. Doesn't matter if it's, a bar, doesn't matter if it's a piano room, it's something where the music is sharing with others. And I want to make sure people feel that, it's not about me. It's about getting everyone to feel the music and feel the song. So I try to really look at everybody, engage the audience, and I really don't close my eyes much anymore like I used to, unless it's a song that I'm really feeling. But most of the time I just look at the crowd and just try to see how they're feeling.
That's good advice. That's great advice right there. And I can definitely relate to the closing your eyes and just kind of getting into the moment of what you're about to be doing.
Yeah.
Especially when I did early shows in stand-up comedy, because my roots are in stand-up. When I did early shows, like I would get, to this day, I still get nervous. And
Of course, yeah.
I appreciate the nervousness. I get really concerned when I'm not nervous for a show.
Mhm.
That's when I'm like, oh, something's gonna go, something might be off. But when I'm nervous and like low key freaking out for something, that means I know I'm caring about the performance that I'm trying to do, and that means I'm gonna put my best foot forward when I'm doing said performance there.
Yeah.
Whether it be with stand up, whether it be with live speaking. When I did my TED talk, that was another thing. And then even now, just doing These Are Questions interviews, I get low key somewhat nervous because I don't know how the interview is gonna go. I don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. The internet doesn't know what's gonna happen. So it's just kind of leading into it and feeling the vibe of the performance and putting your best foot forward. So I definitely relate to your advice there. And that's some great sound advice for any new musician that's trying to get into the field or trying to, perform for the first time, or, doing some new stuff, trying something new, because it's nerve-wracking at times.
It is. It definitely is. So that would be my advice. And it's never perfect. It's not like you're ever going to be perfect or do all the right things. But if you can do as many things as possible and be conscientious of, little things to make the performance better, that's always what you can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good sound advice right there. And we're capping off this interview of These Are Questions, Erica, and it's been wonderful so far. But I just have one more question to ask you, and
Mhm.
that question is, what's a language that you don't know but you always wanted to learn?
Well, I don't know much languages, so I just know English.
Okay.
I know a little bit of Spanish because my husband speaks Spanish, but if I could learn something other than that I would really like to learn more of. Italian, because I am actually Italian, so I would like to, I guess, learn the language of my people. And yeah, I mean, I know my dad knows a little bit, and our family is, I think, from northern Italy, but I've never learned it. I know little words here and there, but nothing to speak. But I would love to learn Italian.
Okay. Okay, that's a good choice. Italian's a good choice right there. That's a fun language to learn. Nowadays they have like Rosetta Stone and Duolingo and all these, like, and Babbel and all these like kind of free and semi-free apps that you can just go in and do daily lessons. So
Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and when I was in, because I went to the University of Miami, I actually sang classical music. So a lot of the songs that I sang, I was trained classically. I sang a lot of operatic music,
Okay.
and most of those songs were in different languages. But I just I sang them and I learned them. It was easy for me to kind of learn them, phonetically,
Yeah.
hearing them, and I would write out kind of how to say them, but I didn't really know what I was saying. I didn't really know the whole context of, each. I knew little things, but not enough to say, oh, I know the language and I can talk to somebody. So I know little words, but I would love to really, really dive into it and love to go to Italy. That would be amazing. I want to eat all the food.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe in the future you can go to Italy and then you can sing in an Italian opera house.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Or even just go to a show. I would love to just sit there and enjoy the music.
You're gonna perform in Italy. That's gonna be your next international travel
We're
right there.
manifesting all these things. Woo!
I'm telling you, I have a somewhat of a decent track record when I say things on These Are Questions and people actually do things after. So guests have told me in the past.
Hey,
In
you're
past
coming with me then, Raf. You have to come with me.
oh, Raph and Erica takes over Italy. Your husband can beat me up in the corner.
Nah, he's a nice guy.
Okay, cool. Shout out to your husband. Shout out to your husband.
Thank you.
We'll get some Italian cheeses. We'll get some gelato, and then we'll just travel across the seas of Italy.
Yes, and then you could do like a big show there and have some awesome, maybe some Italian opera singers have their talk, do something like that. These are the questions with them.
Yes, these are the questions in Italian.
That'd be so cool.
You never know. You never know. You never know.
That's awesome.
You're awesome.
Oh, thanks, Raph.
You're welcome, Erica. And just like that, we're at the end of our These Are Questions interview. It's been great speaking with you, Erica. But before we cap off with everything, I want to open the floor to you. Anything that you want to talk about, anything you want to say, anything you want to do before we cap off this interview with These Are Questions, the internet floor is now yours.
All right. Well, as a musician, of course, I've released some music. Last year in November of 2021, I did release my first EP. So it is out there on all streaming platforms. It's on YouTube. There's two music videos out right now. One music video I'll be releasing at the end of this week on Friday for one of the songs, one of the last tracks on the album called My Vow. It's actually my wedding video that I used the song My Vow for. I wrote that song back in 2018. Yeah, and so it was a beautiful wedding. I got married last year in December.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And so basically I used the song, and instead of just using someone else's song, like an Ed Sheeran song or another ballad, I was like, well, that's what the song's about. So I want to use it for my wedding video. So that's kind of the music video. But yeah, my music's out there, and people can follow me, follow my music. I am working on some new things and collaborating with some of the new artists that I've met and musician friends that I have. So that's on the way. It'll take some time, but yeah, just support me, support local artists. I appreciate it, and would love to hear feedback of what people think of my music, and just I enjoy what I do. So yeah, that's all for me.
There you go. Very good. Sounds to the point. And I just want to add that I've listened to some of your music from your EP, and it's very good. So
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Very welcome. You're very welcome. And that's what leads to this These Are Questions interview, to be honest with you, because I know we recently connected on social media, long story short, but we connected, and then I got a chance to listen to your music. And I know through Lucas Doitier of Intracoastal Entertainment, he gave me kind of and not an IOU, but kind of like, hey, kind of a referral, kind of to check out. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, let's make this happen, because I like supporting local artists and musicians and entertainers and performers. So this is the show for it.
Thank you. And I appreciate, that's kind of how I started getting out in the community. I wasn't gigging or anything like that, 2 years ago-ish. And then Lucas was doing these open mics, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go out. And I basically from there, and now I have a booking agent. And so it's kind of spiraled into where I am today. And, I appreciate it. I'm not, millions of followers and on these stadiums, not yet, at least, but what I do enjoy and what I do, it fills me with satisfaction, on it's where I am, and that's okay. And so I'm happy with it, and I enjoy it. I'm just glad to share it with others and meet so many great people, because I wouldn't have met you either, Raph, through, if I didn't meet Lucas or some of the other people in the music and comedy community in Fort Lauderdale. So it's great. We get a lot of connections. We get to meet people that, we might have never met prior.
Absolutely. Shout out to him. He's season 3, episode 5.
Oh, nice. I have to watch that now for sure.
For those that are watching and listening, after you have watched this episode, watch his episode, watch all of my episodes, listen to all of my episodes, listen to Erica's music, watch everything on the internet right now.
Just put it all in your brain.
Put it in one giant massive playlist right there. So for those that are watching on my YouTube channel for These Are Questions, and for those that are listening on the podcast feed for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, we do appreciate your support. All of my links and all of Erica's links and music will be listed in the descriptions down below when you're viewing this episode. And for those that are watching and listening to These Are Questions, we just want to say thank you. And we just say you have been watching / listening to These Are Questions. Right back at you. Have a good night, everyone.